Hey everyone, so I wanted to very quickly make a video talking about Renown as quite a lot of people seem to be asking questions about it and aren't fully certain on exactly how it works. So I just thought to answer some questions for people and talk about how Renown will work in future seasons and how you can prepare to be ready for the next few seasons without having to do any extra work in the future. So what is Renown? Well, if you look at each of the major 5 zones in the game, and you hover over the area, at the top you can see your renown bar and you can see how much progression you've made in each zone. Renown is earned by just doing things in the zone that are related to the open world content. So for example, doing a dungeon might give you some renown, clicking on your altars would give you some renown, completing the strongholds, discovering all the areas, and so on and so forth would give you some renown. If you hit W, you can see your renown page and you can see where your progression is in a current zone, what you've already completed, and what you have left to do to earn your renown. Now, you only need 2,000 renown to fully finish each zone. Each zone has 5 levels that you will slowly earn over time that give you both character-based rewards and account-based rewards. And as you can see in Fractured Peaks, I have 2010 renown, but I do not have all the dungeons and I do not have all the side quests unlocked. You need to do about 80% or so of a zone to be able to actually get enough renown. All of them require about 2,000 or so. And then you can just kind of ignore the rest of the content unless you want to do it later down the line. Now, in each area, there are 5 tiers of rewards. There are 2 sections for each, the top rewards being character specific rewards and the bottom being account wide rewards. Now, all we really care about here are the account wide rewards, as the bonus XP is very minor. It's maybe about 25% of a level, which is very, very, very minuscule. And the gold itself is also very tiny, especially once we get towards the end. 150k gold really isn't much. Once you get to World Tier 3 content, vendoring 3 yellow items effectively gives you this much money. So we only really care about unlocking the bottom rewards. Now, these are going to be account wide as stated. So if I were on this character, for example, and I completed this much of this region, if I were to make a new character, I would have the skill points, the pushing capacity, the skill point, and the max obols unlocked. Now, I do want to make this very clear for people now, as this is something that honestly I wish was changed. If you make a new character, your progress is completely reset. So as we can see here, I am on a new level 5 rogue. And if I were to open up my renown, as you can see in Fractured Peaks, I do have this finished on my main character. So on this character, I have access to all of the bottom rewards. Now, if we were to have looked at a zone where I don't have full completion of, for example, in Dry Steps, I only have level 4 unlocked. That would mean that I would have to redo everything on this character if I wanted the level 5 reward. As you can see in Fractured Peaks, all of my progress is completely reset. So if I did not get level 5 in Fractured Peaks on my main account, I only stopped at level 3 or level 4, and I did want level 5, I would either have to go back to my main character that's already level 3 or level 4 and finish up on that character, or I would effectively be starting from scratch on this character as I don't have any of my renown done. And all the progress that I've made so far in terms of renown and Fractured Peaks is completely reset for the purpose of getting to level 5 if that was my goal. Now, one thing I want to make you aware of is this is even worse in hardcore. Because in hardcore, if you end up dying, that means you can't ever go back to that character and finish up your renown. If you only got to level 3 in each zone for the passive points in hardcore, and then you wanted the Paragon points, but you died and you made a new character, well, you're effectively starting from scratch because your renown is reset to 0. And this is true even if you just skip the campaign. So it is very, very, very punishing in hardcore to die before you actually have all 5 reward levels done in each zone, which is why I might recommend, which is really cringe. I do not like this, which is why I wish it was changed, to just go in World Tier 1 and just do all of the open world content in hardcore. Now, you don't need to necessarily do it in World Tier 1, but what I'm trying to say is go to very low difficulty and just do all of it. So that way, if you ever do end up dying, well, at least your account progress gets saved and doesn't effectively get wiped. Let's say I put 20 hours into doing open world content in hardcore and I get all of my areas to level 4. Everything is almost level 5 and I die. Well, that just means I just wasted 20 hours because I did not actually finish level 5. It effectively is all or nothing when it comes to Renown and Hardcore, which is really, really awful. I mean, you are signing up for that in Hardcore because you should expect to die at some point. You should expect to restart. But it just feels really bad when you're supposed to have account progression that you effectively have to completely redo because you did not actually get to fully finish it. That feels extremely bad in hardcore, and I wish it gets changed. It's honestly one of the reasons why I stopped playing hardcore because I just lost so much time doing open world content, which in my opinion, I don't really like too much. It feels kind of like busy work at times. And I just had to redo all of it from scratch again with no sort of acceleration or any sort of easier way of doing it. Next, I want to talk about how this is going to affect future seasons. So you might be asking yourself, what about season one, which comes out in mid to late July? Will I have to redo any of this again? Should I just not bother now to not get burnt out on it? And when I'm going to have to redo it again in the first season? The answer is no, you will not have to. So Blizzard has stated that all of your account wide progression will be saved across whatever type of gameplay you are currently playing. So, for example, all of your progress in softcore is going to be saved across all of your seasons. And so will all of your progress in hardcore, but not vice versa. So if I'm playing in softcore this season, if I have level 5 unlocked everything in hardcore, if I have all my altars of Lilith clicked, if I were to go play hardcore and I've never played hardcore before, I would not have any of the progression actually done. And the same would go if I only played hardcore and decided to play softcore. You will have to redo all of your progression. But if you are someone who only plays in hardcore or only plays in softcore, which I would say most people are, that means if you get all of your Renown done now, and if you get all of your Altars of Lilith done now, which you have about a month and a half to do before the first season comes out, that means you'll never have to worry about doing it again in the future. You can completely ignore it. And the nice thing is you'll have the campaign skip available from day one in a new season. So when season one does start, you can just immediately skip the campaign and go get yourself level to 50. And you just enjoy the end game. You don't really need to interact with the open world at all, other than maybe getting the waypoints just so you have a little bit of convenience, and maybe getting the strongholds because you want to do some of the dungeons that are unlocked by doing strongholds. Otherwise, you'll never have to discover the whole map. You'll never have to touch Altars of Lilith. You'll never have to do any sort of open world content you don't want to do, which in my opinion is really, really good. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the future of the game and some possibilities that Blizzard might do with Renown that you can get yourself prepared for, like right now. So currently, you only need 2,000 Renown to get to level 5, but there's substantially more available for you to do than you actually get the benefit from. So for example, in Fractured Peaks, you can go up to 2,700 Renown. But I think Blizzard will do in the future. Now, this might not be for a very long time, but I do think they will add more Renown tiers. So eventually we'll have Renown tier level 6, Renown tier level 7, and so on and so forth. And to accompany that, either it might fall within the total Renown that you already have. So for example, Renown goes up 100 extra Renown per tier. So tier 4 requires you to get 400 new Renown, and tier 5 requires you to get 500 new Renown. So that means tier 6 would require 600 new Renown. And for example, in Fractured Peaks, you can get 2,700. So if they did add Renown level 6, you would technically immediately have it unlocked if you went through and actually got all the Renown available. So I'm trying to advocate for here is if you want to be prepared for, in my opinion, the inevitable addition of new Renown tiers, you might want to, on whatever character you're currently playing that you got Renown level 5 and all zones on, to actually fully finish those zones and do all the side quests as well. You don't need to do them to get to Renown level 5 currently, but I would recommend to get all of your Renown. So when a new season comes out, you'll either immediately have the new Renown tier unlocked, because if you didn't, you would either have to completely redo all open world contents in a new season on a new character from scratch, or you would have to go back to your standard character and use that, since it's already somewhat progressed, to only do a little bit more to have the new area unlocked. I think it's just best to do all of it now just to be prepared. And again, you have 1.5 months before season 1. I don't think they're going to add a new Renown tier in season 1. It's going to be way too early, but you have plenty of time to still be playing your current character before a new season will come out, and all of us will presumably want to play new characters then. And in the future, if they do add more content, if, for example, you can have 5,000 total renown in a zone and there's now new altars or new dungeons or whatever added to that zone, you'll have a massive leg up on it since you've already completed all current available content, and it'll be a lot less to do. Now, again, I don't think they will add new renown tiers for a very long time, but if you're looking for something to do, if you're looking for some busy work, if you're looking for some long-term goals to reach for, I would definitely recommend to actually 100% each zone. That's all I have for this video. If you have any more questions about Renown, please feel free to come by my Twitch and ask me there, or feel free to write in the comments below. I'll happily answer you whenever I can. And other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next video, or I will see you guys live on Twitch. I stream every day.